Vivek Chudamani says, Durlabham Trayamaya Vaitat Manushyatvam Mumukshutvam Mahapurusha Samshraya. You can get anything, but not satsang. You can get money, you can get power, but satsang is something only through Guru's grace you can get, nothing else. So it's a very great day today. Our personification of love, Sri Gurudev, has made us touch the book Taittiriya Upanishad and open ourselves up to the beauty of this Upanishad. Taittiriya Upanishad has a lot of topics which are very difficult for traditional people to digest. But Sri Gurudev explains them so beautifully. This book, Taittiriya Upanishad, therefore, is appreciated by all cross sections. I have met people who do not belong to the mission. Or you go to Google, everybody will refer only Gurudev, because this terse, difficult book have been made so beautiful, simple, understandable by that Mahatma, the God in form which we were blessed to be associated. Don't feel bad. We have not seen him. No, he is there everywhere. You think of him, he is there. He is there everywhere. He is listening to me. No, sorry. He is talking and I am listening. I have said several times, it's not an exaggeration, my experience. To hear the name of Swami Chinmaya, you should have been blessed. Forget about seeing him. He is not an ordinary person. I know this. His love is experienced every minute. So this is a book. We are blessed to read his commentary. Out of the 1,000 Upanishads, there are 200 available. Out of them, 100 have been authenticated. 11 are supposed to be major because all the three acharyas commented. Amongst them, Taittiriya, even in size, is the third largest. First is Brihadaranyaka, second is Chandogya, third is Taittiriya. I didn't want to start this way. I have planned differently. But when did I speak? It is only he speaks. So therefore he changed the whole starting itself. There is the Shanti part, which Sri Gurudev himself says. And Sri Shankara also suggestively says the same thing. That the Shanti parts are not asking permanently some favors for God. It is asking their blessings to complete the study. To complete the study. You won't believe when I say he's talking. Whole way of my talking, planning has completely changed. He is doing it. Let us chant the Shanti part. Om Shanno Mitrasham Varunaha Shanno Bhavatvaryama Shanna Indro Bruhaspatihi Sanno Vishnu Rurukramaha Namo Brahmane. Namaste Vayo. Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi. Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahma Vadishyami. Rutam Vadishyami. Satyam Vadishyami. Tanmamavatu. Tadvaktaramavatu. Avatu Mam. Avatu Vaktaram. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Taittiriya Upanishad is special. That is why I said Sri Gurudev's book is most sought after even by people who do not belong to our own mission. It is special because normally what you hear, jnana and karma cannot go together. Sri Shankara, in fact, starts all his commentaries like this. Now that jnana, upasana, jnana portion is over, we'll start the Upanishad. He always pushes it aside. And that's his favorite theme in all his Purva-paksha. That is, jnana and karma cannot go together. Much more so, praying for worldly blessings like money, name, fame, students, praying for all these things, Taittiriya Upanishad. This is a jolt for traditional people. This is a jolt for traditional people. And it advocates Satyam Vada, Dharmam Chara. Krishna says there, Sarva Dharman Parityajya. Here it says Dharmam Chara. Right? And these are called Trivarga, Dharma, Artha, Kama. One has to leave them to the moksha. And here Dharma is recommended, Kama is recommended, Artha is recommended in Taittiriya. So naturally we love it because these are the three things we want. And not even three, we want Kama, and for that sake Artha. Dharma we created so that others don't disturb us. Dharma is created by us to tell others, don't disturb us. So we are interested in the three. Taittiriya says beautiful. Then how do you reconcile? Because Shastra cannot be wrong. It's one of the major Upanishads. How do you reconcile? On one side, these are said to be Abhyudaya Phala, Bhautika Shastras. Whereas Upanishad is said to be Nishrayasa Phala and Adhyatma Shastra. Both cannot go together. One is in the world of names and forms, other is transcending names and forms. One is through karma, another is through jnana. Karma and jnana cannot go together. And the problem of dharma, that is the only problem. Please listen very carefully. I said problem of dharma. Then I modified. I said that is the only problem. I want money. I can loot. What prevents me? Dharma comes. Somebody kills somebody because he was giving him trouble. But that both cannot be happy. Dharma comes. All your don'ts also are troubled by dharma. Forget about do's. And Arjuna says in so many words, Dharma sammudha chetaha. I am baffled by this dharma. I do not know what to do. Tussle between do's and don'ts. Right now, our class is at 8:30. Gurudev is doing their inauguration, the first anniversary, Guruji, of the first anniversary Brahmachari course. We received the message at 7:10. I could not even postpone that also because message was too late for us. But they must be having the reason because they are too sincere. I am hats off to the people at Sandipani. They must be having some reason. So, but even then my conscience didn't permit. Till 7:13 I saw that and then came here. Again conflict of dharma. Conflict of dharma. If there is no conflict of dharma, there is no ashanti. If there is no ashanti, there is no searching. So all problems can be brought to dharma. And that is what Taittiriya says. You must practice dharma. Now what is dharma? That itself is too difficult to answer. The greatest dharmatma history has ever produced was Sri Rama. He is questioned left and right for killing Bali, for leaving a pregnant lady. He is questioned. Where are you? Where are me? Dharma Murti, Sri Rama. One who has never served from the path of dharma. He is questioned. So what is this dharma? How are you going to answer? A conflict. Desires should be fulfilled. Then only you can be happy. That's all we know. For our happiness, you feel I should get this, I should get that. Desires. If nothing is available to us for happiness, at least, okay, let us go to the Gita class. That's also a desire. That's also a desire. Kama. Where is the world without kama? The basis of the world is kama. That is why Kathopanishad says, Lokasya Pratishtha. This is the substratum, this is the foundation, this is the basis, kama. And even when they recommend Atma Vidya, that kama is used. Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. We are going to deal with that little later, more on that. Without kama, where is full stop? All our life, you need kama. And for kama, you need artha. And artha, Sri Shankaracharya Bhagavan says, artham anartham bhavaya nityam nasti tatasya kalesha satyam putrādapida nabhājām bhītihi sarvatra yesha bhita rītihi. And then in Bhagavatam, it beautifully says the problems of Artha, because there was a Brahmin who lost all his money, who was a Kanjus. And then, but some Purva Punya, he gets jnana, he realizes. And then he says, what is the problem of Artha? Right? He says, anyway, so he says there is sorrow in earning, there is sorrow in spending, there is sorrow in protecting, there is sorrow in losing. All this belongs to the Artha. 15 problems due to Artha. And then what about Kama? Bhagavan says in Gita, this is your enemy. Kama yesha, krodha yesha, rajoguna samudbhava, mahashanaha, mahapapma, vitti, yenam, yaha, vairinam. This is your enemy. You are feeding him in your house. He comes, pretends and comes as a friend. You are carried away. You are feeding him. Ultimately, give your key to him. He loots everything and goes away. That is Kama. What is Ashanti? Kama is only Ashanti. Where there is no Kama, there is no Ashanti. That is why Prajahati yada Kaman sarvan partha manogata. Prajahati. Where do you get my happiness? Atmana eva atmana tustaha. So Kama is gone. For Kama you need Artha. That is also a problem. Both should be gained through Dharma. That's a conflict. And we do not know anything other than the three. Normal, average, good people. No, I'm talking normal, average, good people. They only know these three. Have good desires and rightly follow dharma, duties. This an average person says. But all the three are giving us trouble. Now where to go? Okay, we'll go somewhere. But Taittiriya Upanishad says all the three are all right. That is our problem. So this is the Upanishad for us. Because we need dharma, we need kama for that artha, for that dharma. And up to now, people have been disturbing us. These three you should leave. Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nistraigunyo Bhavarjuna. Nirdvandvaha Nityasatvastaha. Gita says. So these are the three things that we know. These are the three things that have been disputed. But for our rescue, Taittiriya Upanishad says all the three are beautiful. It even tells us to pray. Pray for artha, pray for kama, pray for dharma. That is where Taittiriya Upanishad blends, integrates the secular and the sacred. It blends and integrates the secular and the sacred. What is the basic principle? How can anything created by God, accepted by Shastra, be bad? How can Artha, Dharma, Kama be bad? They're not bad. But the relationship you are having with them is bad. When you use these three to fatten the ego, BMI, they give you sorrow. When you use these three for the sake of moksha, they release you. Dharma, Artha, Kama have to be used for moksha. For that you need Artha. Gurudev's beautiful example. Without satisfying the lower, you cannot go to the higher. Hungry man cannot express his emotions to all, love and all that. He's dying. And an emotionally agitated man cannot rationally think. And a confused man cannot contemplate. So unless the lower are satisfied, you cannot go to the next step. BMI have to be satisfied to go to the womb, pass parachuting beyond V. You need to take care of all these three things. Therefore, Taittiriya is very practical. It says these are for that, for moksha. Dharma, Artha, Kama are for moksha. If they are not used for moksha, your life is destroyed. Then they are your enemies. Vidhi yenam yeha vairinam maha ashanaha maha papma. Put any amount, he won't say enough. That's why it's called anala, fire. Na alam vidyate yatra analaha. So that is this beautiful example, taking us, Upanishad taking us step by step, step by step, step by step. It takes us step by step. And how beautifully it blends. It says, we are going to do it later, but I have to tell you how it deals. Man should be asishtaha, drudishtaha, balishtaha. He should be strong. He should be firm. And he should have all desires fulfilled. And he should have good character. And he should have the wealth of the whole world with him. Vittasya purna syat. Complete wealth. That is one unit of human life. So he says it's Ananda only. But then he says, firstly, it is not practical. Secondly, you have to struggle. You know this? Srotriyasya akamahatasya, this he already gets it. One who is learned in Shastras, one who has left his desires, gets this happiness of this man, this perfect man, theoretically, one unit. And 100 times more than that man's happiness is Manushya Gandharva. Again difficult. But he says, Srotriyasya akamahatasya, he gets this. 100 times more than his is Deva Gandharva Anandaha. He says that also Srotriya akamahata, he gets it. Pitruloka Ananda, Devaloka Ananda, Karmaloka Ananda, Brihaspati Ananda, all Anandas, 100 times each. I once asked Kavita to count the ciphers. She counted 1 by 20 ciphers. You understand? That is also not true. Yeah, that's infinite. But for our sake, he has given for us to think. 1 by 20 ciphers, I don't think any computer calculator can give us that many digits. That is the Ananda of the Srotriya and Akamahata. So what did our great Mahatma Taittiriya Swami said? Go, get well, get married, get children, get cattle, get students. But all that is not necessary, he concludes. Be a Srotriya and Akamahata, not disturbed by Kama, is Akamahata. Not disturbed by Kama, Akamahata. You will get all that. All the other things, Dharma, Artha, Kama, by doing you get. Here by leaving you get. Srotriyasya Akamahatasya. What a beautiful way he treats the subject. What a lovely way he treats the subject. That's the reconciliation. He reconciles sacred and the secular. He reconciles karma and jnana. He reconciles upasana and jnana. And he reconciles matter and Brahman. This is the Upanishad where the Panchakosha Viveka has been thoroughly done. Even for Tattvabodh or Viveka Chudamani or any other Prakarana Grantha, this is the basis. And what does he do? When he does this Panchakosha Viveka, he makes you understand that this is nothing but Brahman in his own way. There again, the same technique. He gives one sentence. Yato va yamane bhutana jayanti, yena jatana jivanti, yat prayatya abhivishanti, tad Brahma, from which everything has risen, in which everything sustains, into which everything goes. That is Brahman. He says that. And now, what do I know about that? Nothing. So he states, Annad bhavanti bhutani. Beings come from Anna. Beings are sustained by Anna. Beings go back to Anna. Therefore, Annam Brahma. Right? And he doesn't say it is wrong. That's the beauty of this Upanishad. He doesn't say it is wrong. Student comes to him and says, go and contemplate from which all beings come, in which all beings stay, into which all beings go, that is Brahman. Do go and contemplate. The student goes, starts from the beginning. Annad bhavanti bhutani. Beings come from food, they stay in food, they become food for others, worms and all that. So Annam is Brahman. He comes to the teacher and says, the teacher says, no, go and think again. He didn't say it is wrong. Go and think again. He goes and thinks, prana. Yes. Everybody breathes. Everybody survives by prana. And ultimately, this exists, prana. And people enter into that. He goes and says, the teacher says, contemplate further. Mind. He says, contemplate further. Vijnana. He says contemplate further. Blank. He says contemplate further. There comes the Ananda Brahma, Brahmananda. See how he has proved Advaita. He never said, this is matter, this is false, this is Maya, this is Mithya. He never said. Annam is Brahman. But there is something greater than Anyantara Yesha Brahma. There is something inside this again, subtler than this. And then he says prana. Yes, but there is subtler than that. He goes to mind. Subtler than that, intellect. So nothing is dismissed. Everything is Brahman. What a beautiful way of proving Advaita. Sarvatma Bhava. What a lovely way of Sarvatma Bhava. That is the glory of Taittiriya Upanishad. Nothing is rejected. Nothing is rejected. Right? So, this particular Upanishad, in fact, removes all our misconceptions. We had misconceptions, thinking that if this happens, I will be happy. If this does not happen, I will be happy. If I get this, I will be happy. If I get rid of this, I will be happy. You know, these are all our sankalpas. Taittiriya Upanishad removes all these confusions. Confusion about dharma, confusion about artha, confusion about kama, confusion about ananda, confusion about moksha, all confusions removed effortlessly in a very simple manner. And even reconciling the two methods. There are two methods of teaching Brahman. Swarupa Lakshana and Tatastha Lakshana. He uses both the Lakshanas. Taittiriya Upanishad uses both the Lakshanas. Sarvam kalu idam Brahma, Swarupa Lakshana. Tatastha Lakshana, yato va yamani bhutana jayanti, Tatastha Lakshana. Both the techniques he uses. That is again another greatness of this Taittiriya Upanishad. There is a story regarding this Upanishad. Yajnavalkya was learning from a teacher. Yajnavalkya is one of the major rishis in all the Upanishads. And sometime there was some recap by students. Yajnavalkya laughed. Guru said, why are you laughing? What are these people talking? He said. Yajnavalkya got upset. Okay, you get out of here, but before you go, you vomit all that you learned from me. He vomited, and vomit can be taken only by Taittiriya birds. Taittiriya birds. I don't know what is the English name for that. We used to have in the villages, that which builds a hut and all that. Taittiriya birds. They can take. So all the students became Taittiris and started taking what was vomited by Yajnavalkya. That is why this is called Taittiriya Upanishad. Taittiriya Upanishad. Gurudev beautifully explains. Don't get feeling of nausea You have to understand the spirit. You have to understand this. The spirit is the student has learned and is a brilliant student. Others have to learn from him. So he asked him to give it up, and others got it from him. Many times it happens. Now there are dozens of people doing this Zoom classes studied under me. All of them have 3 times more numbers than me. Then what am I to do? I am telling people go to their classes. Same thing Yajnavalkya's guru did. So that is the meaning of vomit and take it. And then Yajnavalkya has finished his course with that guru, wanted to learn more. Then he goes to Surya Bhagavan. Surya Bhagavan comes in the form of a horse and teaches him further. Before he left, the Yajurveda was called Krishna Yajurveda. Taittiriya belongs to that. After he got the knowledge from sun god, that's called Shukla Yajurveda. Taittiriya and Kathopanishad belongs to Krishna Yajurveda. Ishavasya, Brudaranyaka, Kaivalyopanishad, Tejo Bindu Upanishad, Amrita Bindu Upanishad, Mahanarayan Upanishad, all of them belong to the Shukla Yajurveda. Sorry, I am wrong. Shukla Yajurveda only Isha and Brudaranyaka. Krishna is right, Katha and Taittiriya, but the other 4 minor Upanishads also belong to the Krishna Yajurveda. But they are the beautiful Upanishads, all of them, Kaivalya, Amrita Bindu, Tejo Bindu, Mahanarayana. They are called minor Upanishads, but they are not minor at all. So why this Upanishad? What is this Upanishad? We'll start from alphabets. That's how I wanted to start. But Gurudev made me deviate. He must be having his own reason. He says, you are stupid. People who are coming to your classes are all my great bhaktas. You don't have to start from ABCD. Right? Anyway, now that is done, he is telling me to start where you are prepared, otherwise you can't spend the next 20 minutes. All of us want happiness. Saint is a saint for what? To suffer. Sinner is a sinner for what? To suffer. Sukha prapti, dukkha nivritti are the 2 motives for all. Whether he is a saint or a sinner. Who is a sinner? There is no sinner. Sinner is for the man who looks because he is confused. There is no sinner. Somebody who has come to the right path, somebody who is searching the right path. That's all. Like developed countries and developing countries, somebody who has the right path, GPS, somebody who is trying to find the right path. There are only 2 people. There is no sinner. And every saint, this I learned from Gurudev in the very first year I met. Every saint has a past, every sinner has a future. He told me this for me to believe I will also have a future. Right? So therefore, there is no sinner at all. But even then, people who have reached, people who are reaching, all of them through means of kama, artha, dharma are seeking only happiness. But you are not satisfied with ordinary happiness because that's punctuated. This minute it is there, next minute it goes. Agama payanaha. Agamaha apayanaha tam titichasva. 14th verse of the second chapter. Matras parshastu kaunteya. They come and go. And you want something permanent. How will you get permanent from impermanent things? Nahi adruvaihi dhruvam prapyate. Impermanent things cannot give you permanent thing. Nahi akrutaha krutena. Something which is not an effect of anything cannot be got by things which are themselves an effect. Finite things can be got through acquisition, prapya, through production, utpadya, through modification, vikarya, through reform, samskarya. If it is infinite, it has to be everywhere. If it is everywhere, neither prapya, samskarya, vikarya, utpadya can work. If it is everywhere, you only have to know it. Jnanena tu kaivalyam. Jnanena tu kaivalyam. Na karmana, na prajaya, na dhanena. Tyagena eva. What to tyaga? Lose your ignorance that you are the stupid individual. You are Brahman. Drop that. You are Brahman. Tyagena yekena amrtatva manus. Therefore, knowledge is the means. Knowledge is the only means to get the fullness, perfection, completeness. We all struggle to be perfect in the material world. A perfect actor means does karmas. A perfect disciplinarian, a perfect businessman, all relatively perfect. That's all. There cannot be absolute perfection in the finite world. But you cannot keep quiet till you reach that, because that's your nature. Gurudev, yesterday's Upanishad daily gave the beautiful example of trying to string the bow. When the bow is stringed, it is under tension. When the string is removed, it reaches back its original position. Then it rests. None of us, till we reach that state of perfection and beauty, can rest, because that is what we are. Like a twisted rope cannot rest till it unwinds completely. What you want is fullness. Where you are searching is things they cannot give. I think it is Guruji that has said a beautiful sentence. Canvas for Brahman, vote for Maya. Canvas for Brahman and vote for Maya. You want perfection, searching in the imperfect. How will you get? Knowledge. Knowledge, this is taught to everybody. Everybody, but everybody doesn't get. This is a joke. There was a brahmachari in Sandipani, very nice person, but he is very humorous, highly humorous. He only said this joke. He was in charge of books. He was in his room. Somebody tapped the room door. Some guests come there, So they thought they will ask a doubt with the brahmachari. So they tapped the door and he opened and they started, Swamiji, Katha Upanishad. He said 6 rupees and went off. Because he was in charge of books. You understand? Everybody doesn't get it. If everybody gets it and gets the same way, why there should be so many acharyas and they have different sishyas, different commentaries, and their own sishyas have differed from them. Sri Shankaracharya's disciples differ from him. Sri Shankara slightly appears to differ from Gaudapada. Sri Gaudapada's theory is Ajata. Sri Shankara's theory is Vivarana. Why? Forget about them. What about us? What about us? Oh, it's difficult. Why? Churasya dara. It is like walking on a razor's edge. Nishita, sharpened. Then what do? Prepare the instrument. When you want to take a long journey, Gurudev's example, you have to check up all the parameters of the car. So, tune the instrument, check up the instrument, fill up everything properly. How? Upasana. That is where Upasana comes. That is where Upasana comes. Taittiriya Upanishad, more than 35-40% is spent on Upasanas. And very peculiar Upasanas. The same Upasanas are given in other Upanishads in a different way, in a way where Vedantin will understand. Pranavo Danahu, Sharo Hyatma, Brahma Tallaksha Muchyate. Mundakopanishad. Pranava, Omkara is the bow. The Jiva is the arrow. The goal is Brahma. Sharavat Tanmayo Bhaved. This arrow should merge into that Brahman. It's reasonably understandable. Uttararani, Adhararani, two Aranis. Omkara, Pranavopasana. That is understandable. Here, his Upasanas are all very, very different. We'll see that. Why? He is talking to different students. He is not talking to students who has finished Sandipani or anything. He is talking to students who have joined his Gurukula. From the age of 9 or 10, he is telling them. They have to do Upasana for 4 or 5 years or 6 years, then only Upanishad will be taught. They have so much of time and they are young. So he gives some Upasana which they are familiar with. And they go on doing. In doing, their mind sharpens. Their intellect sharpens. Their concentration power improves. And then he will give the Upanishad. And then he will give the Upanishad. So here, the students are taken from the Gurukula initial stages till they leave. When they leave, convocation address is given. Matrudevo Bhava, Pitrudevo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava. All this is given. Dharmam Chara, Satyam Bala. And then Swadhyayam na pramaditavyam. Pravachanam na pramaditavyam. You should not leave reading and giving it back. Because only when you give it back, pravachana is not an egoistic thing. Nor should you wait till you get all the knowledge. Pravachana is a means for you to internalize the knowledge. Therefore, Swadhyaya, Pravachana, he continuously recommends. Both Swadhyaya and Pravachana, he recommends completely. These are all various things through which he takes us hand by hand, so lovingly. Okay, before I start the text, let me see whether I have missed anything in my notes. Yeah. But why these complicated upasanas? Because at the time of these Upanishads, there were no Krishna, Rama, and all that. They can only give upasana on something known to them. They know fire, yajnas, they know chanting. Whatever they know, with that only they have to give. They know earth, they know sun, they know moon, they know Agni. Therefore they give. By the time Vyasa, he gives one particular thing. If you know this one is enough. When it comes to Vyasa, he only created all the Ishtadevatas for us so that the Upasana becomes easier and simpler. But in that one formula he gives, extraordinary formula. Gopyah kamat, bhayat kamsaha, dveshyat chedyadi nrupaha, sambandhat vrishnayaha, snehat yuyam, bhaktya vayam prabho. Gopis have reached Krishna through desire. Kamsa reached Krishna through fear. Shishupala reached Krishna through hatred. Vrishnis reached Krishna through alliances. Dharmaraja, you people have reached Krishna through friendship. Narada says this, we have reached him through bhakti. Bhakti is difficult, friendship of God is difficult, alliance with him is difficult. What to do? Hare, you are a fellow who hates everybody, you know. Hate. Because Shishupala got it through hatred. That you know. Fear, you know. Kamsa got it. Have fear all the time. For what? Whether I will get God or not, whether I will get Krishna or not, whether he will leave me. Think 24 hours, Krishna may leave me. Hate Krishna. Krishna, why did you create us? For you, they say Leela. For us, it is Naraka. What is your Leela? You are a sadist. Go on hating him. He says you will reach him. Vyasa says, what is the logic? Because any statement should have three tests. Shruti, Yukti, Anubhava. It should be a time-tested statement, Shruti. Should be logical, Yukti. Should be verified in experience, Anubhava. So what is the Yukti, logic? Kita, Peshas, Krut. The same thing is used in Atmabodha, Brahmara Kita Nyayavati. That is, this Brahmara, this bee, when it has its eggs, puts in a small hut. No engineer, no architect can make such a beautiful one, such a small one. Makes a hut and puts there. And when they get hatched, they want to come out, see through a small hole left. When it sees through, this Brahmara stings it. Very painful. It goes inside, hating the Brahmara. Again comes, again stings. Goes inside, hating the Brahmara. Happens a few times. And by that time, it's continuously contemplating on this Brahmara. It develops wings and all that like this Brahmara because of continuous contemplation. And then it breaks the hut, comes, and who is the first victim? It kills its own mother. Why? Our mother is ignorance. The moment you get released from this world, kill that ignorance. So what is the moral there? Doesn't matter, even through hatred, if you are thinking about Bhagavan all the time, you will reach him. You will, like Brahmara Kita. The Kita has become a Brahmara. That's the example he gives there. Very easy, because nobody has to teach us how to hate and how to get angry. Some of you, if you have doubt about anger, come to me. I have got Nobel Prize for that. So, this is a beautiful thing. And then we said, all the things are finite, you cannot get. Only through the infinite you will get. Only through the infinite get. That has to be everywhere. It has to be only known. What is that infinite? Again, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. This Atman is the total bliss that you are seeking outside. Na patyuk kamaya patih priyam bhavati. Husband is not dear because he is your husband. He is dear because he is your Atman. And he gives happiness to you. If the husband goes with the other lady, then is he dear to you? Children. Gurudev also uses this. I used 45 years back in ICF. And only 2 days back I read somewhere. Gurudev used the same example. Means what? I have heard him somewhere. It was in my subconscious mind. Not that I used and then he used. I heard him somewhere. And it was in my subconscious mind. Right? What is that? Who my parents love me unconditionally. Let the boy or girl bring a Muslim and say we are going to do joint study for the next 1 month in the same house. Then you see the love of the parents. But one very intelligent lady, Harsha's friend, replied me beautifully. What will you do when they say? She says, I will go and sleep in that room. But anyway, everything is got a price. There's no unconditional love. You love them because they give you happiness. They give you happiness. Your happiness is all that you want. Na patyuk kamaya pati priyam bhavati. Na jaya kamaya jaya priyam bhavati. Na putranam kamaya putra priyam bhavati. Na vittanam kamaya vitta priyam bhavati. Na sarvasya kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. Everything is dear to you because your Atma is dear to you and they give happiness to you. So the dearest is your Atma. What is dearest is that which is the source of happiness. Nobody loves something which gives them sorrow. Since your Atman is the dearest, that is the source of total happiness. Therefore, Atma vai are drashtavyaha. You should know that. Srotavyaha, listen. Mantavyaha, contemplate. Nididya, mantavyaha, reflect. Nididhyasitavyaha, contemplate. Sravana manana nididhyasana. This Atman you should get. How will I get it? 14th is a good day. We will do it. Okay, next week. Om Purnamada Purnamadam Purnat Purnamudachyati Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyati. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Sri Guru Bhyo Namaha Hari Om Narayana. Thank you all. God bless you all.